Everyone, now it is time for the spoiler review. So once again, I will give the spoiler warning. If you have not read Midnight Tides by Stephen Erickson, Book 5 of Malazan, Book of the Fallen, get out of here. This will be full spoiler. I'm literally just going to be talking about the plot lines of the book and what happened. I will be spoiling all the major things. So, that being said, let's talk about my current favorite book in Malazan, Book of the Fallen, and why I loved it so much. Hey, remember one review ago when I said that my favorite part of the book was Troll? Well, my favorite part of this book was also Troll. Troll is, as of now, my favorite Malazan character, but unlike House of Chains, where it was like, this is great, but the main military campaign and the main scheming stuff, I was mixed on. This Troll was great, and then I also pretty much loved everything else. There was basically one plot line I was kind of mixed on, which I guess I'll get out of the way right now, and that was Saren Padak. There we go. The Aquateur. So, Saren Padak, I once again had in a Malazan book, I love a main character whose character development was largely driven by getting raped. In Memories of Ice, it was a close friend getting raped. But in this, it was basically, first half of the book, she's someone, then she gets raped, and from then on, most of her character development is dealing with that, which at this point is basically a trope in the fantasy genre, but it's not one of the tropes that you can really do well. I think it's just a pretty lazy way to develop characters. I thought it was really the only weak part of this novel, but fortunately, it was also the least important and smallest plotline. So, that ends the things I didn't like about this book. From now on, it's pretty much all positive. So, let's start with the two characters who set the record for me liking someone the fastest. Definitely in Malazan, but just in most books. And that's Bug and T-Hall. You start going from T-Hall's point of perspective, and it's like, you got Bug, and they're kind of ridiculous, and then it's like, oh, what you do? I would pack gravel all the way down here, and it's all, as soon as the gravel thing, I'm like, yep, I like Bug now. Bug is a character I'm now a fan of. And then, like, one page later, I was like, T-Hall is also fantastic. So, their plotline first. T-Hall joins Croup and Quick Ben among the big brain people in the Malazan world. And is he my favorite big brain person? No, he's probably middle of the pack. But that's tough grad. And I thought T-Hall, like, all the, scheming and maneuvering he did was just really well done. But really, the most impressive part about T-Hall and Bug was the combination of it being hilarious, but also having serious emotional moments that landed. A lot of the time when you have characters this funny, the kind of real character moments can kind of feel forced, and there's like a super quiet character moment that I think is a great example, and that's his brother, Bryn, starts with a B. Man, I'm bad at names. Whatever, we're going with it. Hall and T-Hall, as far as I'm concerned, that's right. Anyway, so Briss goes to talk to T-Hall because he's concerned Hull is in danger. And then T-Hall has one of his few misreads where he says that Saren will protect Hull. That doesn't go as planned. But then after, T-Hall is kind of like, if they hurt Hull, you won't have to get revenge because I'll get revenge for, our brother. And it's kind of like, T-Hall's kind of very unintimidating, but you've also kind of seen how scary he can be at this point. You don't want to be on T-Hall's bad side. You're going to have a good time. Well, you might not have a good time. I'll have a good time reading about you having a bad time if you're interacting with T-Hall. But you definitely don't want to be on his bad side. That dude will outmaneuver you. Yeah. Very resourceful, very clever, and just a both compelling character with depth while also just being entertaining 100% of the time. Now, that being said, this book is so good that a lot of the time for most of this book, when I was reading the T-Hall stuff, I mostly wanted to get back to the Tisti Edur stuff. Tisti Edur. I don't know. I can't pronounce anything. I don't do audiobooks ever, and I pronounce it in my head, but not out loud. Anyway, and that includes Udinas, and this is where I'm going to totally pivot to the question of whether I think Malazan, I can at least pronounce this right, Malazan, Malazan is a grimdark series, and in my opinion, it is not a grimdark series. Even though the world is clearly brutal enough to be grimdark, a large theme in pretty much every grimdark novel, it's probably one of the key things that makes something grimdark, is the lack of agency that like an individual has. Like if you go to the first law, Glockta ain't change, like none of the characters are really changing much. Like they can try as they want. Doesn't matter if they're really smart. They're kind of caught and just have to go with it. That's kind of one of the key themes of grimdark, and I think Erickson has showed that individuals, and not just like super powerful mages, but individuals through compassion and intelligence can have a major impact in the world. And I think the best way that this was showed is not by having Udinas hold the Empire together. By the way, the scene of kind of, because we already know things go to shit because we read the House of Chains prologue, and there's a scene with just the brothers talking in the tent and getting along, and just like the glimmer of hope that you know is false hope, but you want to hold on to, is my single favorite Malazan moment so far. I actually, I had to put the book down for a bit to recover. Yeah, it was amazing. And then the brilliant way he showed I think that's probably one of kind of the key thematic parts of Malazan, is that you can have a large impact, like, through compassion, because Udinas could not be more of a nobody. Like, not only is he a slave, he's a lower class slave, which he's, like, impressively a nobody. And the way they show how much he holds the Empire together is that you remove him for, like, an hour and everything goes to shit instantly. And even Troll, who's my favorite Malazan character, doesn't really have any compassion for Rulad. Like, he's obviously very concerned that Rulad is going to go insane, but he never really feels like he's that concerned for Rulad. He's concerned for what, and he's never really, like, feels bad for Rulad, because Rulad, it's like, yeah, he's kind of a doofus, but, and, like, he kind of sucks, but also, like, the position he's put in, like, that's a hard position to be in. Like, no one's gonna be at their best there. Brutal. Oh, when he starts, when, like, Udinas is putting the coins on and he starts screaming, brutal. And Troll doesn't really show that much compassion for Rulad, and Udinas does, and it really holds the Empire together. Anyway, tangent, they're done. But also, so Troll is the great. In general, I just love the Uter plot as well. I thought the family dynamic between, I mean, all the brothers, but especially Fear, Troll, and Rulad was brilliant. Also, just in terms of sheer badass moments, like, you know, there's some bigger moments. And yeah, Moonspawn coming out of the fucking ocean is pretty badass. But planting a sword in the ground and then running forward in order to stab a Soul Taken, have your spear break, and get pushed down perfectly back to your sword, which you can then take out and kill the next Soul Taken wolf. That is peak badass. Yeah, like, so Troll is the quiet badass, like, he's kind of unassuming. And that was peak badass for Malazan. It's up there. Anyway, and what else was there? I know there's a plotline I'm completely forgetting about. There was T-Hall and Bug, there was Seden, there was Udinas, and that was Troll. Those are really the main ones. I thought this book, like, point of view wise, was quite a bit tighter. Similar to Deadhouse Gates. It doesn't quite POV hop as much as, well, I guess not the first part of House of Chains, but like House of Chains, Memories of Ice, or Garden of the Moon. And I really thought in general, like, the pacing of this book was really phenomenal. Like, it's not a fast-paced novel by any means, but it's a really good example of kind of slower, methodical pacing. But no one's ever spinning their wheels. There's always, like, progress being made, whether it's good progress or bad progress towards bad. The situation is ever changing, and those changes never just felt unnecessary. And also, I just really like the setting. Also, there was the military campaign, which was also really cool. You had a troll being like, heal this damn demon, but then having like anchor shoes. Man, Troll's an interesting character. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the other plot. Obviously, Bryn, his other brother, kind of had a separate plot of being the first sword of the Lothari, and kind of defending the city. And Bug. Oh yeah, the undead horny girl. Not a sentence I ever said I would say. Never thought I would say. Actually, that was another part. The part was really focused on the undead horny. Like, that was a little bit ridiculous. Like, there was some really funny stuff, but the parts where it's like, yeah, we don't care about that guy. Yeah, he's got a huge dick. Oh yeah, bring him over. Like, come on, really? That was a bit much. But other than that, the plot line other than that was, it's fantastic enough that I don't care. But yeah, there was also like the Brisk, but he was kind of in the same city as T-Hall, but obviously playing a very different role. You had Bubbles, that's right, the guy with the glasses that like zoom in on his eyes. Who's just kind of sitting there for a while, and then the moment where Bug is just like, now, and they capture the demon who you like got the perspective of, oof, get bamboozled, son. Then Troll killed him, unfortunately. Yeah, that's what happened. This was the first military conflict where, I guess there was the Siege of Pale, but I didn't know what was going on for the Siege of Pale. But like it was the first military conflict where I really was cheering for people on both sides. Like the Chain of Dogs, you're obviously cheering for Coltane and company. Like, the rebels are killing and raping everyone, so not really cheering for anyone there. And then the Panyan Domen are pretty obviously shitty. And then the people in Rakuru were just the worst. You know how earlier I was talking about extending compassion to like Rulad, the bad guy? Yeah, I draw the line at the cultist child rapey guy. Just kill him. He got his death was satisfying. Anyway, but I think that basically wraps up Midnight Tides, the absolutely brilliant continuation of Malazan Book of the Fallen, which I gave a 9.4 out of 10. It was fantastic. It was very 2 thumbs up. I basically have very little bad things to say about it. I want more Troll and more Udinas. I miss Udinas. Fear. I forgot to talk about Fear's character. I just want to mention like him originally really supporting Rulad kind of out of fear, and then like when you get that Fear point of view, it's so good. When he's kind of like, Troll kind of said what I was afraid to. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, that wraps up my thoughts of Midnight Tides. Let me know what you thought about Midnight Tides in the comments below. Have a nice day, everyone.